Welcome back to the Creator Shelf, and I'm glad that you joined me in this week's midweek pop-up. For today, I'm going to be answering a hashtag called You in the Tarot, and it is from the channel AardeKracht. I think it's called AardeKracht Earth Power now, and the person who does the channel is Rijke. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correct. So I'm really loving her channel. She lives in the Netherlands, and basically not only talks about tarot but also art journaling, crystals, and lots of good stuff in this area. Please do check out her channel, and a big hello to Rijke as well over in the Netherlands, because yeah, I love watching your content. One of the other things that actually I saw yesterday, it was yesterday, was that Rijke put up a video about self-doubt and making YouTube videos and so forth, but also her journey in spirituality. And I found the video really empowering, actually, very honest, very genuine and authentic, and just really down to the basics of what it's like to just do a YouTube channel with these kind of topics and some of the challenges we face. And I really identified with it as well. So yeah, do please check out the channel. But this is about you in the tarot, and this is a fun hashtag with 5 prompts. And basically the point of doing the prompts is that basically that we have an idea of basically how society might see us and the people around us see us, and then how we see ourselves. So it's really interesting in that sense. And we're meant to do the exercise twice, once using one tarot deck in terms of choosing the cards, and then using a second tarot deck in terms of choosing, letting that deck basically randomly, as we pick the cards, show the real answers, or however you want to see it. So I think you get the gist of it. So I'm just going to start. The 2 decks that I'm going to be using for today is a classic 1970s deck, the Morgan Greer, a beautiful deck. I have edged mine in this glorious blue. Now, it doesn't match the back so much as it matches more the front. So as some of you might have seen, this deck, it's a very popular classic deck that you can get mass market. I think it's, let me just check, it is US Games. Yes, it's US Games, 1979 publication that I just see there, so that's the year I'm born. So basically it's an absolutely gorgeous deck. Here are some of the images from it. This blue is amazing, and so what I did was I actually edged the whole deck in that blue. So there you go, there's the edging, and I'm quite proud of that edging, actually. So yeah, and the cardstock is lovely. So it's all very, yeah, it's silky. It will slip out of our hands, very mass market, but I really love it. So anyway, so I decided to use this deck for the first round, and then I thought what would be interesting is if I used a contemporary classic, and it's a deck that I just received this afternoon, so I've only had it for 2 or 3 hours. I kind of like cleansed it with some incense and so forth, but then after that I decided to open it, and yes, it is the Light Seers Tarot. So this is the one by Chris Ann. This is the mass market version, easily available. Publication is by Hay House. And I've had the deck literally only for a couple of hours, so I'm still trying to get the damn box open. Now, I already have the Muse Tarot. That really isn't my cup of tea so much. I'm trying to bond with that one still. So this is going to be interesting. I have some first impressions of this deck, but I'm not going to say them today because that's not what it's about. But I do have some first impressions. So yeah, I need to sit with this deck, I think, a little bit more. Gorgeous on the inside. Of course, a lot of people know this deck, but I thought it'd be interesting to use kind of like a classic from the 70s, and then a classic from like only a couple of years ago, a contemporary classic, let's put it that way, as kind of like, you know, the 2 decks that I'll be using for these prompts. And of course, I haven't edged it yet because I just only got it. These are the backs, really beautiful backs. And yeah, so this is the deck that I think a lot of you, or all of you, are probably familiar with by now. It shuffles so easily, and what was interesting was I got it out of the box, and I'm not a riffle shuffler, so I just shuffled it overhand, and literally within a few shuffles, it was really well dispersed. So that even surprised me, how well it kind of like does shuffle. And the colors in this deck are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But, you know, there are other first impressions, and I'm going to save them all for another video. Let's just continue on to the prompts, because, right, that's what this is about. So the first prompt is how society sees me, or sees you, basically. Now, I'm hoping I haven't shuffled all of these out of order, because I did have them ready. Now, how society sees me, I think I kind of like fall into a bit of a, yeah, so I'm a Virgo rising, and as rising signs go, they, you know, that's kind of like, if you believe in those things, if you believe in astrology, it's kind of like, it's the part of us that people have the first impressions of. It's not all of us, but for me, I do feel that my rising sign does influence me. I am in communication, so very Mercury, and I'm also in healthcare, so very much a Virgo sign basically, and I'm very analytical, so I chose the Hermit, so no surprises there. That's how I think society sees me. So the next prompt is, how does your family see you? And this is interesting. I had to really think about this because I haven't lived at home for a really long time, but I decided to go with the Chariot. And the reason why I went with the Chariot is because I think people see me, my family sees me as very strong-willed and kind of like just goes for it, you know, without really caring basically. So good or bad, not always a good trait, I think, but a lot of self-will, I think, and I think my family would say that, yeah, she's got a lot of self-will and that determination and that kind of like, yeah, powering through. I don't always think it's a good trait of myself, to be very honest with you. It needs tempering always, but I think that's what they would say. Okay, so I'm also the youngest of my family, so to be quite honest with you, a lot of the page cards would also be suitable for me because, yeah, I'm like the youngest out of all of my cousins as well, which is quite strange but true. So anyway, the next one is, how do your friends see you? And this is a good one. I think this is a bit of a deceptive one. I think my friends see me this way, but I don't think this is the real me, but I think this is what they see me as. And that is the Nine of Pentacles. I think they see me as someone that's kind of like very much in their own space. I'm in my own garden. I kind of like trying to enjoy the benefits of whatever I've made in that sense, but there is a lot of solitude basically, a lot of me just enjoying the fruits of my labor but on my own in a way. So it's kind of like interesting. I think that's how my friends see me. I personally don't feel that way, but I've had some remarks sometimes. I'm like, and then as I studied tarot more and more, I was kind of like, is this a Nine of Pentacles thing? I think also they might put me close to the Nine of Cups as well, to be, if I was to be honest, a little bit of kind of like seeking fulfillment, but it's in a place of own space. So very much a 9 energy, I would say. How would I like to be seen? This is the interesting one. I think I'd like to be seen, but it's not true, but I'd like to be seen as temperance, very moderate, able to calm my emotions and keep that kind of like moderation going and keep a pace and mix the chemicals, you know, just the alchemist, the one that can just kind of like sit in the middle kind of thing and calm the waters and calm that Aquarian energy. I don't think that's me though, but I wish, you know, I really wish. This was my card of the year for last year, actually, for 2020, was temperance. Not for this year, but I wish. And who do I actually think I am? And it's interesting because the card that I picked, it's 2 cards actually, I've cheated here a bit. The card that I picked is because I had a couple of comments made to me by people that I'm not very close to, but I think they were very acute in their observation, let's put it that way. And they're acquaintances, I'll put it that way. But I had a few times someone say something and I realized that they had seen through and seen something that I needed to hear, that they can see it. And I think being a Scorpio, being a real Scorpio, who I am really in the death card. A sign of transformation, a sign of constant. And this is the thing, people think, oh, Scorpio, it's all very sexy and death and all that kind of thing. As a Scorpio sun, it's really, sometimes I believe as a Scorpio sun, I can get very lost in transforming. And it's almost like I keep playing the cycles over and over again. And the whole point of the Phoenix, the last part of the cycle. So we begin as kind of like a Scorpio or a snake. Then we're going towards the eagle. And then finally is the Phoenix. I think that what can happen if we're not careful is that we're just stuck in the snake and the scorpion energy. And a lot of astrologers talk about that. They go, you need to rise above. You need to go to your eagle part and then to your Phoenix part, because those are the parts that actually free themselves from their karma. But as someone living within the Scorpio realm, I really believe that we get stuck, like a lot of Scorpios will be running the same cycle because they haven't still lost that bond. And then as time goes on, we do kind of like start to free our feathers and free our wings, but it's a journey. I think there's a lot of that. But interestingly, and there's a sky at the bottom right of the Morgan Greer. I love that card. It's a gorgeous card. Interestingly, the other card that I picked, because I was cheating a little bit, let's be honest, right? Hey, it's my video. I can cheat if I want to. But the other card that I picked, if you just give me a moment, let me find it. Where is it? Is this one. It's the Queen of Swords. So these were the two cards actually in the end that I picked. I wanted to be the Queen of Wands, but I think who I actually am, there's a bit of Queen of Swords. And it's interesting, I don't have that much air energy in my birth chart, but there is a little bit. And it's in a certain part of my birth chart, and I can see it coming through. I think sometimes have that coldness, and it's not always a good side. I always see all of the cards have light and shadow, all of them. The Tower card, the Death card, the cards we don't like, I don't know, the Nine of Swords, all of them have light and shadows. All of them have good and bad or mixtures of energies. And the Queen of Swords, I see her as very analytical, very able to cut through. There is a coldness, there is an ability to survive a lot of different temperatures, especially of course the cold. I love the cold in that sense. But I do believe that there's the other side, which can be abrupt and can also, it can become quite harsh and crude if not careful. And I think that those really do, I think that's more who I actually am. But anyway, these were my guesses. So let's see what the Light Seer says, right? Because that's, so this is the new deck. And as I've just said, I'm hoping she's nice to me. I'm hoping. So the first prompt, let's go back to the first prompt. So the first prompt was, how does society see me? And I've just had one jump out, so I think I have to take it. All right, so I had said the Hermit from the Morgan Greer deck. How does society see me? This is what the Light Seers are saying to me. The society sees me as the Emperor. Very interesting. So the Emperor is Aries. It's a Mars energy. Mars, the higher octave of Mars is Pluto, which is, of course, is the ruler of Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by both Mars and Pluto. Mars in its ancient times, Pluto in the more newer astrological realms, basically. Very interesting. It's honed in on my Mars energy. Clearly, very strong boundaries, very strong territorial behavior, for sure. And sometimes a little bit bullheaded, well, ram-headed, I should say, sorry. So, yeah, that's interesting that I got that as how society sees me. Okay, so the next prompt is, how does my family see me? So now, as a recap, I had chosen the Chariot, signifying self-willed, and a little bit self-willed, gone all over the place, basically. So what's the Light Seers going to say to me? Interesting. See, I'm bonding with this deck whilst doing these prompts, so it's an interesting exercise for me as well. Oh, please be nice to me. I have cleansed you with a lot of incense this afternoon, hopefully. Please be nice to me. I have to say, one of the things that I am really blown away with, it's a very popular deck, but just in case if you don't have it, the quality of the cards is just phenomenal. Like Hay House really just know what they're doing. The Muse Tarot as well, actually, Chris Ann's Muse Tarot mass market is also phenomenal. I know the indie versions are great, I've heard that, but yeah, I feel this card stock and then I'm like, what's happening with the other publishers? Like, so anyway, I won't say anymore. But yes, okay, so let's pull a card. There's no jumpers at this. How does my family see me? Okay, let's pull a card. Let's pull a card. It's going to be a surprise for me as well as you. My family sees me as the Five of Pentacles. Oh, Lord. I wish I wasn't doing this actually on camera, but there you go. Five of Pentacles. I do isolate and I do ostracize myself, for sure. This was my card of the month last month, actually, from the Deviant Moon. So how ironic. That was the card that I had from the Deviant Moon last month as like an ongoing energy for October. And here comes back the Five of Pentacles. I love it. I've got to make peace with this card. Now, it's interesting. I think there's an energy going on here because for a long time I've been thinking I'd like to make a video about the Five of Pentacles. There's a lot of theories about how, oh, there's a key and you can go through and all these kind of things. But I think as an exercise, I'd like to bring through the Five of Pentacles from a medieval point of view and the significance of that card from, let's say, the 13th or the 14th centuries, how it creeps into the deck in terms of what the meaning might be from those realms. Very different, not the same. And that also explains what's significant about the Five of Pentacles is to truly, I believe, to truly understand it as the Five of Pentacles from the medieval realm one, it then sheds light on the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. Like, and I have a lot of thoughts around that. So I'll save it for another video. Otherwise, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole and then you'll be listening to me going, get on with it. But for me, this really shows me that I can sometimes just lock myself out. I don't want to pay attention. I don't want to be a part of things. Very much part of kind of like those energies. And it's true. So thanks, Light Seers. Kick my ass on video in the first few hours that I have you. Thank you. Okay, so how do my friends see me? That's going to be a good one. Please be nice to me. Please be nice to me. I have put you with some beautiful incense sticks this afternoon. Please say nice things to me. For cleansing my decks, not to make it so elaborate, the easiest thing I do is I put them in my shrine area. I think that that's a nice place to get a blessing, to have what I believe in, the faith that I have, to cover those cards. And you know, I always believe that I can't say to the cards like, show me what I want to hear, but more show me the right direction and in a way that I can work with it, you know, and it's the truth sometimes. Sometimes it's harsh, but it's not about cleansing the energy so I don't hear anything negative. For me, it's about cleansing the energy so that along with the truth, I can also get some hope of how do I move forward, and or you know, what guidance or what tips can you give me moving forward, is how I believe it, basically. So it's the truth with kindness. That's the best way I can say it. So how do my friends see me? How do my friends see me? So as a recap, I had originally said, what would I have said? This is a gorgeous card here, by the way. I had said the Morgan Greer, right? So very elaborate, I mean, look at that. She's wearing her wealth. She's wearing all of it. She's wearing that falcon? Is it a falcon? It's a falcon. Or is it a hawk? It's a hawk of some, because it's hooded. So I just need to make sure. I mean, of course, it's not the canary that we usually have. I love the grapes as well. This is a gorgeous card. But right, so I picked that as how my friends see me. And what does the Light Seers show me? The Light Seers shows me, okay, come on. Show me then. What do you show me? Strength. Interesting. So my friends see me as strength. How do I see this card? Well, the Light Seer shows a very, of course, a beautiful lady, but also the side of her that's very animalistic, which I love. I absolutely love, and I love animals. As you know, I have a fondness for animal decks. I'm going to have to do a whole video on animal decks and why I love them. Yes, Katie, I'm going to do a video on all about animal decks basically. So, but yeah, that's interesting. I think this card is showing me that my friends see me as someone that does have that inner strength. I always believe that I need to tame that inner power through humility, and that's why I go back to the Chariot, because there's a lot of ego in that Chariot. But perhaps, you know, this card is showing me that I do have some hopefully some ability to make sure that inner strength and heart is tamed, so that it's an energy that's constructive, not destructive. So yeah, interesting. How would you like to be seen? So prompt number 4. So I originally had chosen, let me find her again. Where are you? Oh, now she's gone missing from all of these cards. Where is she? I had originally chosen, if you just give me a moment. My God, the Morgan Greer is slippery, I'll tell you that. Beautiful cards, but a bit slippery. Can I find it? Can I find that card again? So, oh, she's gone missing now. I had originally chosen Temperance, so I'd mentioned that. Where are you, Temperance? You know, that was the card that I thought, can't find it now, sorry about that. But that was the card that I originally thought signifies, oh, there she is. How I think that I want to be seen. Yep, that was the question. How do I want to be seen? So, this is what's happened. One has flipped over. It's giving me the Tower. Phenomenal. I love it. I love the Tower, by the way, because as I just mentioned, I think the reality is I'm death, because I'm going through a transformation again and again. And what's interesting is that I absolutely love the Tower card. I think of it as very positive. I less think of it as negative. For me, what's really, really scary, if you want to see scary, is when the Tower card is upside down, because it means I'm not letting go. When it's this way around, I love it. And I always see the Tower card as a representation of the thunder that rolls in after lightning, because it's that sound. That sound is like a boom. It's phenomenal, but it's clean air rushing into the area after the charged particles have dispersed, and basically from that lightning strike, and basically that's how I see the Tower. It's fresh air coming in. It's like, okay, it's sudden, it might be really painful, but something's got to change. And the older I get, the more I like that change. Sometimes it is brutal and it's painful, and I shed those tears and I call people and I say enough and all of that stuff. But looking back, every change afterwards, I'm a little bit lighter, to be honest with you. My journey is a lot lighter. Let go of a lot of things, and the more I let go of something, the more I appreciate what's left, and more I appreciate the new things coming in, right? So that's what I believe. So yeah, that's how I'd like to be seen, actually, the Tower. All right, okay. And who am I actually? Let's see. Oh. This is not what I wanted to hear. 5 of Swords, and he's got a headache. So, I don't know if you realized, but originally, in who I'd like to be seen, I had the Queen of Swords. Who am I actually? Sorry, I had the Queen of Swords originally from the Morgan Greer, and it's given me the 5 of Swords. So perhaps I am to become the Queen of Swords. There's a growth needed there, but I'm still stuck in the 5 of Swords. And that really is sometimes internal, for me, very much internal conflict, and sometimes in battles that I'm not going to win, unfortunately, in my head. And I'm still having to deal with them, right? And he's getting a headache. What I love about this card, though, is that the crow is there. And I think that's a sign for me to really tap into that crow energy, tap into the goddess of the forest, really, that's where I connect best. And this has been an interesting exercise. The Light Seers has kicked my ass. I'm having an interesting journey already in the first few hours with this deck. I need to do a proper review of it at some point, having used it, obviously. But this was a fun exercise, and I think it was just good to be part of the tag and to do something fun like that. And thank you again, Raika, for such a fantastic idea. And this is my midweek pop-up, so maybe you want to join in the tag too. Who are you in the tarot? And see you all soon. Bye-bye.